You have no idea how I'm happy that I actually bought a VA display before actually Silksong was released. So you can actually see it here. There are so many dark areas, and of course when you have lots of dark, you want to see the black. The black's supposed to be hidden, make the kind of layering between the light area and the dark area. It's supposed to give you a feeling, you know, that you are, you know, a sense of mystery and a bit claustrophobic in certain situations, not knowing what over there in the dark. Now I'm going to switch to the IPS and LG Ultra Gear. Look at that. I mean, how can you enjoy a game like that, especially if you enjoy playing in the dark? Because again, when everything is just lit up, you know, you don't get the same immersion, especially everything is dark, especially in dark games. Of course, it's going to be less severe when you turn on the light. We're going to show you in a moment, but come on, look at that. This is just not the same game. It's unbelievable. I mean, how can I actually enjoy playing a game like that on an IPS display? Well, the only reason I can tell you that if you get used to it. Here I'm adjusting, by the way, trying to find really what I see with my own eyes. So I'm going to lock it and you can see. So this is more or less how I saw it in my own eyes. It won't be perfect, of course, but I made some adjustment. But you can see it just glowing all over the place. And you feel like also a disconnection from the game. It feels like this, you know, the game is playing somewhere inside. It's not like coming to you. It's not like you're in the game. Now I'm going to turn on the light so you can see that, of course, this effect will be less severe, but still, it's not going to be like, you know, perfect. But again, when you turn on the light, it's less prominent. But then again, you're not in a dark game. You really want to close the light to be really immersed in the game. So again, even here, it's far from being perfect, but less worse, of course, compared to when you play in the dark. You know, it's so prominent that you think like, all right, they should have wrote maybe in the recommended settings to have a VA display, not IPS. I mean, this is such a huge difference. It's unbelievable. It's like you're playing like a low quality game to a very high quality game. And by the way, the bit of light on the side comes from the computer. You can see the purple there. This is just the light reflecting a bit on the screen. Now, I also tested out quite heavily in terms of blooming, in terms of reverse ghosting. As you know, I told you that for around 95% there was an issue when playing on fastest. So fastest is playable here. By that I mean the 1 millisecond gray to gray. Here we are going back to the IPS, as you can see. Again, so different. When I'm saying regarding blacks on the TCL, it's just OLED blacks. Of course, in areas that are more lit, it's going to be less, but slightly less. Even on the white, where you see lots of, you know, supposed to see lots of blooming, it's very, very well controlled. And of course, if it's even less, it's going to be much, much less, right? It all depends on how bright it is. But again, because of the panel, it's not IPS with local dimming, it's Fast-HVA with local dimming. It's already very dark by default. So I tested out, again, because there are lots of black area and high contrast, no blooming, no reverse ghosting, absolutely nothing, just perfect image. And also, again, very, very deep blacks, superb contrast between the bright area and the dark area, because you say, all right, you can expect that, you know, because the way the game is designed, there are lots of high contrast between the bright and the dark, that it won't be like perfect on a display that is not OLED. But it was actually amazing. The blacks are just so deep, and even if I increase the brightness even very high, it's still gonna look good. Amazing. Here I'm 66, and it's a lot for the display. This has like very, very high brightness. So usually I play around 40, something like that. I let my eye adjust to it, and it's fine. I mean, some people even say they're playing in 30, but you can even bring it to the max, and you can see some of the blooming are more prominent there. But again, you know what 100 on this display is? It's incredibly bright. Of course, it can be even brighter if you play in HDR, but you're never going to play on such high brightness. You're going to play around, I think, like between 40 and 60 max. I mean, it depends. If you're playing in daylight, of course, you're going to increase it. I'm saying in a dark room. So you can see how black it is. It's even better, by the way, compared to how you see it here. Because again, I haven't noticed, again, when you look at it with your eyes kind of adjust between the bright and the dark, so you don't even notice even the blooming. The blooming is very, very well controlled here. All these kind of shadowy things are just totally dark black. It's amazing. And this creates again this layering, which again on the IPS, of course, it's not going to be like that. the blacks actually on the IPS just ruin the immersion of the game. I mean, almost totally. Just I feel like it's all washed out. It's incredible. Of course, OLED is going to be like the ultimate one for this game. So if you have OLED or really high quality VA display, you're going to enjoy this game more for sure. But regarding the TCL, again, I'm playing no ghosting here. Again, there are situations, I mentioned this in my review, but in most games, no issues at all. I don't need to play on fastest in such game. I can just put it on normal, by the way. I don't need it. Response time is not really that important in this game. But still, you know, highest local dimming, highest response time, no ghosting, no black smearing, no reverse ghost, inverse ghosting, no black smearing. Amazing blacks, beautiful, stunning colors. It also handled the gradients very well, by the way. Although the game has kind of a built-in kind of a bending with that's how they designed it. There's even a mod for removing it. But it looks incredible, and there was no like bending issues whatsoever here. And there's so many things that are amazing. The transition between a scene which suddenly turns black and then the light comes in, it's so magical. When you experience this on a VA display where you just, you know, all your life you're just used to an IPS display, it creates some kind of effect, the transition, that is just amazing. It just adds so much to the emotional aspect when you experience the game. You're going to see it in a moment when I show you cutscene. By the way, the color are not like that, it's because of the recording. Also not playing on sRGB. I'm playing on the standard, which makes things kind of more vibrant. Even then, it doesn't look like that to my eyes. It's just the phone can't record these colors. So in terms of colors, it looks different. But basically, the blacks just blend in with the bezels. It's so dark. Here I'm just going to adjust it. It's not like that because again, I'm changing scenes. I need to adjust the font for the exposure. And I always try to reflect it on how I see. Look at that. You see? It suddenly turns black, and black is here on this display. It's like total black, yeah? And look at that. So many of this playing with dark and bright. And this is something that I never experienced before because I was using an IPS display all the time. It was constantly glowing. And I really enjoy playing in the dark. So it was always like that. But now I feel like something else when I'm playing a game, especially Silksong. And by the way, you see this flash of light? It's incredible, this display, because it's so bright. It's just, you feel like there's some kind of effect, like it enters your own room because it's so bright. It's so bright that it actually can make you squint. That's how bright this display is. Now, of course, there is the extreme scenario, we're going to see it soon with text, white, of course, but even white, the blooming is relatively very low. You're going to see blooming here in a moment with the text. You're going to see it even more, but I think it's even less compared to what you see here. So this is kind of a bit more exaggerated than I said with my own eyes, but still you're going to see it, but still very well controlled. But in many games you won't see like lots of white, right? It's lots of mix of colors that are not really very bright. I mean, even they're not white. So in general you're going to get very deep blacks. That's what I'm trying to say. Even in very complex scene that evolves both bright and dark areas, especially when you have it, lots of it in Silksong. Anyway, there are some games, especially if you enjoy playing the dark and get immersed, like be inside the game, that just you can't just play it on IPS. It's not going to be the same experience. And of course I switched with use Windows and Shift and the arrows to just switch between the two screens so I can immediately see the difference. And was just shocked. And of course it's not for every game, but for Silksong and of course other games, especially kind of very horror games and other games that have lots of dark scenes, this is absolutely a must. It's either again something like that, like, you know, very high performing VA display, or of course OLED will be like just going to elevate the experience in general. Yeah, so with this, again, I'm playing more games, of course, with the display, and the more I played it, the more I'm saying, wow. I mean, just so lucky that I found a display that can perform so well with very little compromises, that can use both for productivity, gaming, and everything else. I don't even to touch anything, just using on the highest local dimming, highest response time, and just doing everything. Yeah, so this is just an update, and definitely worth it. For certain games, I think it's even close to a must if you're searching for high immersion. Thanks for watching.